Our next panelist is a longtime TSI member, and he's a glutton for punishment. He's been on a webinar with us before and was brave enough to come back for another one. So welcome to the webinar. Daniel Qlik is the Vice President of Support Services for Qlik.
Thank you, John. So yeah, a little bit about Qlik first. Qlik is let's say data companies, and what we sell is basically a language and how you interact with people, and you make decisions and you get insights with data. So that's what Qlik does. We can manage data, we can give insights, and we help you make decisions. So that's what we do. We do it in many countries, direct and indirect, and we have about 50,000 customers and more than 2,000 employees. So, looking at, who I am first, I've been in this industry of customer success for about 25 years in different capacity support, customer experience, cloud, as well as customer success operation. And for about 15 months, I'm leading the support organization at Qlik. As you can see, we have about same numbers that are Breaks 5, center and about 150 people. Now, in terms of where we want to go and basically why we choose to partner with SupportLogic, is our journey has been really about getting control of our escalation and actually mitigate them by becoming more proactive. SupportLogic is giving us a tool with his sentiment analysis and attention score, a tool to be actually more proactive and be able to be more proactive in terms of addressing potential escalations coming. But in fact, that tool and our mission have also been evolving since I joined, because the tool is able now to give us information end-to-end between the landing of a customer into Qlik and up to the renewal. We get this sentiment and attention score that allow us to detect when customers are actually in danger for not renewing, right? So that transition for us has been critical. This partnership with SupportLogic has been as well. Now, in terms of tech stacks, nothing, let's say, not aligned with best practices. Salesforce is there, Cisco and Jira. I think our partnership with Khoros is critical, because a lot of, in order for us to own this end-to-end journey with customers, our strategy has been to go one-to-many and offer more and more digital content to our customers, and it's done mainly through our Khoros platform, and the link between Khoros and the success of a digital touch point with customers and SupportLogic has been one of the reasons of the success, I would say, of this organization in just 15 months.
So Daniel, why is becoming proactive more important today and for today's customers?
Yeah, it's a good question, John. I think I have different answer. I mean, on one hand, the support organization has been built on reactive. It has been built on the customer effort score. It has been built on CSAT. They are all lagging indicator. So the transformation now, especially with a tool like SupportLogic, is actually giving you real-time information about where you stand with your customers. And instead of waiting for a problem to come, now you know at any point of time of a journey what is really going on with them. So now you have an information when they just new customers and their onboarding phase. You know what's going on when they are in your adoption phase, and by the way, their sentiments. Maybe before 3 months before renewal, right? So to me, it completely changed the game to move from reactive to proactive. I will also say that, for all customers, the journey starts more or less in Google, right? And it goes somewhere maybe in your community, and then it goes to support. I think, again, the idea of being more proactive is actually trying to get closer to the touch point with your digital touch point with your customers. So the idea is that if you're looking after your customers who are engaging with you with your digital content, and you find a way to help them having a successful touch point, you're also getting more and more, proactive and actually delivering a delightful customer experience with them. So, I think the proactive has really two effects. One is this end-to-end customer experience and be able to act on this end-to-end journey. And number two, if you get closer to your customers when they need you, especially when they engage with you at a digital level, there is a lot of value that you can get there.
Yeah, I agree. I also think this year in particular, we're all under a lot of pressure to be more empathetic with our customers and more understanding with our customers. And, if you're totally reactive, it's going to be noticed because everybody's really upping their game. What has been your approach to introducing AI into customer experiencing monitoring, and what business results have you seen at Qlik?
Yeah, AI in my mind has to be introduced step by step. You cannot go full AI everywhere without some basics and foundation. As our step one has definitely been with SupportLogic. Why? Because it was easy to install, it was easy to plug the tool into our own process, and it was a way to get some quick results and quick wins. So that's why we use SupportLogic now. In terms of expanding AI, overall in our infrastructure, I think you really need to have some foundation basic in place. One, especially in our SaaS offering, to have a strong, let's say, prescriptive journey that you can rely on and build on. That was one, and again, end to end from landing to renewal. Number two is having a very strong digital footprint as well, because to scale, that's what you can use and what AI can actually leverage. So you think about your knowledge base, you think about your webinars, you think about your community, and then when you have that, then you can expand your AI footprint to a chatbot. You can have AI tool in your own community, and again on the back end with what you can do with SupportLogic. So that's what we are building. We think that by mid of 2021 will be there. So while you have to introduce AI slowly, in fact you can do it very quickly. Now from a very basic let's say ROI for us, at Qlik, if you look at March 2020, when we started to work with SupportLogic, and you look at our evolution with escalation, this has been pretty tremendous. I don't know, someone maybe moves the slides, so I'll go back there. You see that in just 6 months of time, we actually decrease our escalation by more than 30%. So in 2021, we'll continue to expand our partnership with SupportLogic, and we have 2 new modules that we'll start using beginning of January. One will be related to agents and how AI will help us manage the efficiency and quality of services delivered by agent, and on the other hand, on the customer base, is really expanding the use of SupportLogic to customer success. And our CSM will be able to look at the accounts, account by accounts, or the portfolio of accounts, and look at or how their customers are doing from a sentiment and attention score standpoint. So again, AI has been providing this personalized touch to our customers, and the change that we have been able to push to customers has been very, very, very quick.
Wow, that's really impressive with the escalation decrease. I mean, that's a quality of life improvement for your employees as well as your customers. So that, it wasn't the expected business result I thought I would see. So it's really interesting. Daniel, you and I talked a couple of weeks ago. You were interested in maybe extending the sentiment analysis into your core community. What do you have on the roadmap for future projects?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, while we're optimizing and again expanding our partnership with SupportLogic with our case management. I mean, the idea is to do less and less case management. So what we are doing is, while most of our users' journey start in Google today, our job is to funnel these requests into our community, and when they are in a community, is making sure that the interaction, the touch point in the community end up being successful, right? So what we are building is an interaction between our community and our digital content. And when the digital content is actually not successful, is having our agent connecting with his users. And in order for us to do that, we will use AI in the community to be able to look at all of this interaction and prioritize this interaction so that we know which one needs our attention first. And that's what we are doing. So, we are doing it in partnership with Coros and, SupportLogic, and both of them are going to help us go there. But again, the idea is the agent, it doesn't stay in a reactive mode, is actually getting closer to this digital touch point, making sure that this touch point is actually successful. And when you think about that, and we're going to get there, and likely, by mid of 2021, the idea is then that we use all of this infrastructure that we build into the product. And, from within the product, you'll be able to have access to the community. You'll be able to post in the community. And finally, if this engagement or this touch point is not successful, you'll be able to make an appointment with an agent from support. So, at the end of the day, you will never leave the product, whether you need assistance or you're trying to get to your outcome. And that's where we want to be before end of 2021.